With the permission of the Honorable Chief Justice, I now request Mr. Mansoor Usman Awan, Attorney General for Pakistan, to address the court.
Mr. Justice Qazi Faez, Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Yahya Afridi, Honorable Chief Justice Designate, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Mr. Farooq H. Naik, Vice Chairman, Pakistan Bar Council, Mr. Muhammad Shahzad Shaukat, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, worthy members of the Bar, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today to celebrate the outgoing Chief Justice Isa's completion of an illustrious judicial career spanning over 15 years. Throughout his career, Chief Justice Isa has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to constitutionalism, rule of law, democracy, and accountability. Chief Justice Isa's judicial career began rather uniquely when he was directly appointed as the Chief Justice of the Balochistan High Court. Prior to his appointment, he had securely established himself as one of the most prominent and successful litigating lawyers in the country. His commitment to public interest stood out during his 2.5 decades at the bar. In a landmark case titled Balochistan Bar Association versus Government of Balochistan, PLD 1991, Quetta 7, the young barrister Qazi Faez represented the Balochistan Bar Association to successfully challenge the Criminal Law Special Provisions Ordinance 1968. In another case titled Begum Said Qazi versus Quetta Municipal Corporation, PLD 1997, Quetta 1, Barrister Isa represented himself and his family, resulting in the Balochistan High Court directing strict compliance with the building code in the area under the jurisdiction of Quetta Municipal Corporation. During his tenure as the Chief Justice of Balochistan High Court, Chief Justice Isa rendered several notable judgments. In Muhammad Salim Khan versus Government of Pakistan, PLD 2013, Balochistan 10, for example, he upheld the prohibition on state-funded Hajj for government officials. In Nasreen Khetrani versus Government of Balochistan, PLD 2012, Balochistan 214, Chief Justice Isa emphasized the importance of the fundamental right to information under Article 19A of the Constitution and consequently directed the respondents to ensure the operation of all schools in the province and to further ensure that teachers attend schools to impart education through proper and periodical monitoring by the district education officers. In Ikramullah versus the State, PLD 2012, Balochistan 16, Chief Justice Isa demonstrated his commitment to environment by emphasizing the importance of protection of wildlife in Islamic tradition. In Gira Naz versus the State, PLD 2010, Quetta 61, and Ata Muhammad versus the State, 2010, YLR 3000, Chief Justice Isa upheld women's right to marry out of their own free will. After a 5-year tenure as the Chief Justice of Balochistan High Court, Chief Justice Qazi Faez was appointed to this apex court where he has served for a decade. During this leg of his judicial career, Justice Isa continued to serve the cause he had championed at the Balochistan High Court. In Shah Zaman Khan versus Government of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Province of Sindh versus Lal Khan Chandio, Justice Isa once again highlighted the human burden to care for the natural environment, drawing strength from Islamic sources, among others. Similarly, in a number of judgments including Muhammad Rafiq versus Ghulam Zora Mai, Laila Qayyum versus Fawad Qayyum, and Munir Hussain versus Rifat Shamim, Justice Isa protected the women's right of inheritance. In the famous Faizabad Dharna judgment, Justice Isa dilated upon the right to assembly and protest and the reasonable restrictions that may be imposed thereon. Importantly, Justice Isa noted that the right to protest is circumscribed only to the extent that it infringes on the fundamental rights of others, including their right to free movement and to hold and enjoy property. Justice Isa further held that intelligence agencies must operate within their mandate, and any transgressions into the realm of politics by these agencies must be held accountable. In September last year, Chief Justice Isa took oath as the Chief Justice of Pakistan. Since then, Chief Justice Isa has exhibited extraordinary judicial leadership. Upon taking office, Chief Justice Isa called a full court meeting after a long hiatus. Under his leadership, the Supreme Court collectively decided to live stream proceedings in cases of public importance, promoting transparency and accessibility for the masses. On the judicial side, Chief Justice Issa, without wasting time, upheld the constitutionality of the Supreme Court Practice and Procedure Act 2023. In doing so, this court approved Parliament's decision to abolish the Chief Justice's absolute power to constitute benches and fix cases. This was a pivotal moment in our judicial history, and Chief Justice Issa's role in ensuring greater accountability and transparency within the judicial branch cannot be overemphasized. Another important contribution by Chief Justice Issa is his role in the conduct of general elections held on February 8, 2024. This court, under the leadership of the Chief Justice, paved the way for all stakeholders to agree on the set date for the conduct of general elections. This ensured that our country continues to tread the democratic path. There was yet another hurdle when the Lahore High Court, through order dated December 13, 2023, in writ petition 8083 of 2023, suspended notifications issued by the Election Commission of Pakistan, whereunder district returning officers and assistant returning officers were appointed. Had the suspension order of the Lahore High Court been allowed to hold the field, the general elections on February 8, 2024 would have been a virtual impossibility. Chief Justice Issa, without any delay, on 15 December 2023, suspended the Lahore High Court order and cleared the path to the general elections which were held, and our democracy was once again saved. In a nascent democracy like ours, the role of the apex judiciary is not only to preserve democratic values, but more often than not, it is to actively shield it from ever-evolving challenges. In his tenure, Chief Justice Issa saw democracy through a particularly turbulent time. Throughout his time on the bench, Justice Issa has promoted democracy, transparency, and accountability, not only generally, but also for himself and his own institution. I can say without hesitation, on the occasion of his retirement from bench, that his father, the late Qazi Muhammad Issa, one of the founding fathers of our country, would be proud. We wish him a happy retirement and hope that he will continue to serve democracy, rule of law, and constitutionalism post-retirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney General. Now I request Mr. Farooq Hamid Naik, Vice Chairman, Pakistan Bar Council, to deliver his speech.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Justice Qazi Faez Issa, Honorable Justice Yahya Afridi, Chief Justice Designate, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Mr. Mansoor Usman Awan, Attorney General for Pakistan, Mr. Shehzad Shaukat, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, distinguished members of the Bar Councils and Bar Associations, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we gather to bid farewell to an individual whose career exemplifies principles of justice, integrity, and judicial independence. Today's ceremony not only marks conclusion of Justice Qazi Faez Issa's tenure as Chief Justice of Pakistan, but also reflects continuity of a tradition that strengthens our judiciary and reinforces its vital role in democratic fabric of our nation. This gathering is a moment to reflect not just on remarkable contributions of Justice Qazi Issa, but also on the journey of our judiciary as a whole. Supreme Court stands as one of the three pillars that uphold the state alongside Parliament and Executive. The trichotomy of power ensures the rule of law remains at the heart of governance, safeguarding rights of people and sanctity of our Constitution. Since the birth of Pakistan, judiciary has played a crucial role in defining justice and governance. As one of the three pillars of state, alongside Parliament and Executive, it is entrusted with interpreting Constitution, protecting rights, and maintaining balance of power. Judiciary has evolved over time, adapting to societal changes while safeguarding rule of law. In its early years, judiciary worked within a legal framework inherited from colonial rule, gradually asserting its independence. Landmark decisions shaped democratic norms, though political pressures and executive overreach occasionally tested its autonomy. Yet, through these challenges, courts emerged stronger, ensuring civil liberties and justice in times of uncertainty. Independence of judiciary is the principle that judiciary should be free from outside interference and be able to make decisions fairly and impartially. This means judges should not be influenced by other branches of government, private interests, or partisan groups. Independence of judiciary is important because judges often decide matters between citizens and state or between state and powers of entities. In Pakistan, Article 2A of 1973 Constitution states that independence of judiciary should be fully secured. In Sharaf Faridi's case, Supreme Court explained that it is a duty of every judge to decide matters in conformity of facts and his understanding towards law without any influence and pressure. An independent judiciary is vital to protection of human rights. It is absolutely essential to resist undue influence and provide remedies for justice problems. Judiciary in Pakistan must provide an expeditious and inexpensive remedy in matters relating to ordinary litigants as well as matters relating to infringement of fundamental rights. Independence of Pakistan judiciary has changed over times, where judiciary used to defer to Pakistan's military by legitimizing martial laws and military dictators who were dominant actors in Pakistan politics. First Constitution of Pakistan, as passed by the Constituent Assembly, was framed in the year 1956, and preamble of the objective resolution could be termed as the grand norm of Constitution of Pakistan, which is incorporated, securing federalism, parliamentary form of government, independence of judiciary, and social welfare state. Objective resolution, which was passed in the year 1949, became part of substantive constitution by incorporating Article 2A in the year 1985. Unfortunately, our military dictators did not allow Constitution of 1956 to function and abrogated the same in the year 1958, and that very insurgency derailed democratic system in Pakistan. This unlawful act of the military dictator was unfortunately upheld by Supreme Court of Pakistan in Dawson's case, reported as PLD 1958 Supreme Court 533. Another constitution was framed in the year 1962, which too was abrogated by another dictator in the year 1969 through an unlawful and unconstitutional act, where elections were held and democratic government came into being in 1971, in which Shahid Zulfikar Ali Bhutto became Prime Minister, who promulgated Constitution of 1973, fully based upon democratic principles as well as based on other clauses contained in previous constitutions. This constitution was smoothly functioning, but however, another dictator abrogated in the year 1977 and remained in power for more than a decade. Once again, Supreme Court upheld such abrogation in Begum Nusrat Bhutto's case. In Government of India Act 1935, there was no specific provision about persons who have to be consulted before appointment as federal court judges. According to Act 1935, they were appointed by His Majesty by warrant under Royal Sign Manual, and they could hold office until age of 65 years. Constitution of 1956 provided that Chief Justice of Pakistan shall be appointed by President and other judges shall be appointed by President after consultation with the Chief Justice. With regard to the appointment of High Court judges, under Constitution of 1956 it was laid down that every judge shall be appointed by President after consultation with Chief Justice of Pakistan, Provincial Governor, to which appointment related, and if appointment is not that of Chief Justice of High Court. Constitution of Pakistan 1962 provided that Chief Justice of Pakistan shall be appointed by President and other judges shall be appointed by President after consultation with Chief Justice, whereas Constitution of 1962 provided that High Court judge shall be appointed by President after consultation with Chief Justice of Pakistan, Governor of province concerned, and Chief Justice concerned, where appointment is not at that of Chief Justice. Since 1973, judicial system of Pakistan is being regulated under Article 175 of Constitution, which provides for establishment of Supreme Court and High Courts in each of the 4 provinces. Through an amendment to this article, High Court for Islamabad has also been established. Induction of High Court judges earlier was made on recommendations of respective Chief Justices after approval of Provincial Governor concerned. Thereafter, matter was sent to Chief Justice of Pakistan and accordingly final approval was made by President through Federal Ministry of Law. This procedure was completely changed through 18th Amendment in Constitution of Pakistan by adding Article 175A, which provided for Judicial Commission comprising of judges of Supreme Court and High Courts, Federal Minister for Law and Justice, Attorney General for Pakistan, and representative nominee of Pakistan Bar Council and Provincial Bar Council. After nomination was made by Judicial Commission, matters were referred to Parliamentary Committee, consisting of 4 members from Senate of Pakistan and 4 members from National Assembly. And out of these 8 members, 4 were to be taken from Treasury benches and 4 from opposition. Committee had power either to confirm nomination made by the Judicial Commission by majority of its total membership or may not confirm nomination by 3/4 of its total membership. Now, 26th Amendment to Constitution has been promulgated, which has merged Commission and Parliamentary Committee. However, under 26th Amendment, a woman or a non-Muslim other than Member of Parliament who is qualified to be a Member of Senate as a technocrat has been added in Judicial Commission. The role of civil society has been given. After promulgation of 26th Amendment, independence of judiciary is not infringed. Independence of judiciary is obvious from the fact that tenure is fixed and a judge cannot be removed except on grounds as mentioned in Article 209 of Constitution by Supreme Judicial Council comprising of judges of Supreme Court and High Court. Similarly is the case for removal of punishment of members of armed forces by courts established under the Pakistan Army Act 1952, and that also speaks about independence of institution of army. However, independence of parliamentarians is not secured. In case of inappropriate action by them, their removal or punishment is not by their own brother parliamentarians, but by judges. It is a historical fact that on false allegations which have been leveled against parliamentarians have led to the removal by judges of the past, and even governments were dismissed, and 2 prime ministers were removed through judgments of Supreme Court of Pakistan. Let us look into the mode of appointment of judges in superior courts in few other countries. In USA, justices of Supreme Court, Court of Appeal judges, and District Court judges are nominated by President and confirmed by US Senate. In Canada, justices of Supreme Court of Canada are appointed on Prime Minister's advice, and judges of provincial and territorial courts of appeal are appointed by provincial and territorial governments through judicial advisory committees, which are appointed by provincial and territorial government, in which there are nominees of government. In United Kingdom, there is a selection committee for selection process convened by the Lord Chancellor consisting of 5 members. In Australia, executive enjoys unfettered powers of judicial appointment. So, a Chief Justice holds a unique position in this evolution, not only for just interpreting laws, but also guiding judiciary through internal reforms and external pressures. Over years, each Chief Justice has left a distinct legacy, some reinforcing independence and others setting new constitutional precedents. Justice Qazi Faez's tenure as Chief Justice demonstrated an unwavering commitment to transparency, judicial restraint, and rule of law. His leadership exemplified a careful balance of authority, contributing significantly to strengthening democratic principles and environmental governance. One hallmark of his tenure was his minimal use of suo motu powers, in stark contrast to his predecessors, who took dozens of such notices, on one with 64 and another with 57. Justice Issa used his power sparingly, reflecting his philosophy of judicial restraint and rejection of judicial activism, which he saw as critical to maintaining institutional balance. He was also a vocal opponent of judicial martial law, reinforcing judiciary's role in supporting democratic governance rather than intervening politically. Justice Issa rectified major unconstitutional decisions, such as overturning lifetime disqualification of politicians under Article 62(1)(f) and addressing misinterpretations in Punjab government case related to Article 63A. His correction of historical wrongs also included revisiting Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's Shahid's case, restoring dignity of judiciary and rectifying past injustices. Another important achievement was his handling of election-related matters. Justice Issa 4 elections are held on schedule, despite obstacles. His rulings compelled institutions to act according to law, preventing undue delay through judicial intervention. Supreme Court, under Chief Justice Qazi Faez Isa, formally resolved controversial dam fund issue by distancing judiciary from the project. Justice Isa ruled that responsibility for the project lies with the executive, while management of funds belongs with the State Bank of Pakistan. Court ordered transfer of collected funds, around PKR 23.67 billion, to public accounts of the Federation, ensuring transparency and proper state oversight. In environmental governance, his leadership was evident in rulings like Monal restaurant closure, where he underscored constitutional right to a clean environment. He framed environmental protection as essential to human dignity and ordered restoration of Margala Hills National Park with minimal disruption to wildlife. Justice Isa also presided over Faizabad Dharna case, which held various state agencies accountable for overstepping their roles. This bold decision reaffirmed the principle that armed forces and intelligence agencies must adhere to their constitutional mandates and avoid political interference. Through these contributions, Justice Isa has shown his ability to lead without overstepping his authority. He delegated powers to committee, avoided unnecessary administrative interference, and declined official protocol, ensuring that his tenure was marked by humility and fairness. His refusal to seek a tenure extension further exemplified his commitment to institutional dignity and principle that public office must be held in trust, not entitlement. And how can we forget Memo Gates, sir? Justice Isa's legacy lies not only in his judgment, but in his broader efforts to nurture judicial independence, promote transparency, and promote democracy. His tenure serves as a benchmark for future judicial leadership, inspiring a balanced approach towards justice and governance. A strong judiciary guarantees that no arm of state oversteps its authority, fostering accountability and ensuring justice for all. Under leaders like Justice Isa, judiciary has reinforced these principles by promoting transparency, independence, and timely decision-making, ensuring that democracy continues to thrive through fairness and impartiality. As we bid farewell to Justice Qazi Faez Isa, I reflect not only on his significant contributions, but also on values he embodied through his career: integrity, courage, and an unwavering commitment to justice. His leadership has left a lasting impact on our judiciary, inspiring future generations to uphold transparency, fairness, and accountability. Justice Isa's tenure serves as a reminder that strength of our institution lies in those who lead with principle. As I said, his decision to retire without seeking extension is a testament to his belief in the dignity of public office. Your Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, on behalf of the legal community, I extend our deepest gratitude to you for your tireless service. As you embark on this new chapter, we wish you peace, good health, and continued success. Your legacy will remain a guiding light for the judiciary and the nation in the years to come. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Farooq sir. I now request Mr. Shehzad Shaukat, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, to deliver his speech.
His Lordship, Mr. Justice Qazi Faez Isa, Chief Justice of Pakistan. His Lordship, the Chief Justice Designate, Justice Yahya Afridi, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, Learned Attorney General for Pakistan, Mr. Mansoor Usman Awan, our very distinguished Vice Chairman of the Pakistan Bar Council, Mr. Farooq Naik, Honorable members of the Bar, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu Alaikum. As His Lordship, the Chief Justice concludes his illustrious tenure as the Chief Justice of Pakistan, I, on behalf of the Supreme Court Bar Association of Pakistan, wish to extend our deepest respect and admiration for His Lordship's extraordinary contributions to the judicial landscape of Pakistan and the rule of law. Throughout his illustrious career, my Lord has exemplified integrity, impartiality, and unwavering commitment to the principles of justice and fair play. His Lordship's journey as a member of the Pakistan's legal fraternity spans over more than 4 decades, including 27 years as a practicing lawyer and a historic tenure as the Chief Justice of the Balochistan High Court. His ascent to the position of the Chief Justice of Pakistan reflects his legal acumen and dedication to the principles of justice. The landmark judgments delivered by His Lordship have left an indelible mark on our judicial landscape by safeguarding constitutional rights, promoting transparency, and applying the rule of law without fear and favor. My Lord, Justice Qazi Faez Isa, you are a phenomenon that few could fully grasp. You are the first Chief Justice in Pakistan's history to have surrendered the discretionary powers of being the master of the roster to a committee established by an Act of Parliament, thereby upholding the supremacy of the Parliament in line with the constitutional mandate. Further, by focusing on the enforcement of laws and avoiding overreach into legislative prerogatives, the doctrine of separation of powers with the fundamental rights, which is fundamental to our constitutional framework, has been upheld. This approach reinforced the judiciary's role as an interpreter of law rather than the maker of law, which in turn had the effect of strengthening the pillars of our democracy. Your judgments in the cases like Faizabad Dharna highlighted your dedication to constitutional values, ensuring the protection of fundamental rights such as freedom of speech and expression, while also maintaining the importance of non-violence and peaceful assembly. Similarly, your meticulous handling of cases involving environmental protection, corruption, and government accountability has showcased your vision for a Pakistan that upholds fairness, integrity, and the rule of law. Additionally, your decision to definitively settle the issue of lifetime ban underscored your commitment to giving due weight to the actual text of laws in the Constitution. Not only did you decide old pending cases and references, but you also acknowledged the judiciary's mistake in Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's case by rendering an opinion in the Presidential Reference 1 of 2012. It was you, my Lord, who showed the willingness and courage to overturn bad law previously settled by the Supreme Court of Pakistan while interpreting Article 63A of the Constitution. We are all aware of the challenges you faced, including the 2019 presidential reference, which you courageously contested with utmost dignity. Your resilience in the face of adversity demonstrated the strength of character that defines you as one of the most respected figures in Pakistan's legal history. As you step down from your role, your legacy will continue to inspire generations of lawyers and judges. Your judgments, writings, and profound dedication to the public good will remain a cornerstone of Pakistan's judicial heritage. Your tenure is a testament to what it means to serve with honor and principle. On behalf of all those who have had the privilege to work alongside you and benefit from your wisdom, I wish you the very best in all your future endeavors. May your next chapter be as fulfilling and impactful as your time in the Supreme Court has been. Having said all this, I now take the opportunity to address the Honorable Chief Justice Designate, Mr. Justice Yahya Afridi, to highlight certain burning issues which I, on behalf of the Supreme Court Bar, have always endeavored to get resolved, being the representatives of the Bar. Firstly, may I once again request that immediate attention be paid to the delays in hearing of the cases, particularly stay matters, which delay is a cause of huge unrest in the legal fraternity as also the general public. I have repeatedly pointed out that a possible solution to the above menace can be adequately addressed by restoring chamber hearings of stay matters which are duly envisaged by the Supreme Court Rules 1980. Both the counsel and the client would thus be satisfied that their case was taken up for hearing expeditiously and will add to the grace and dignity of this Honorable Court and will also help alleviate the plight of the ordinary litigant. I may also point out that despite my repeated efforts, this Honorable Court has not adverted to the idea of extending video link facilities to all the benches of the high courts within the country, which will not only save traveling cost confronting the clients, but will also avoid unnecessary adjournments both in this court as well as the high court concerned in which the counsel is practicing. I may also emphasize that the quality of the available video link proceedings has a lot of room for improvement, which I am sure my Lord will take up on the first priority. I have been also requesting that an online procedure for issuance of certified copies be adopted forthwith, which my Lord had already achieved as the Chief Justice of the Peshawar High Court. Under your able guidance, I am sure that the Supreme Court will move further towards e-filing and digitalization of the record. My Lord, the Chief Justice Designate, has always been a patient listener and has always carried a smile on his face, which I hope will not only remain, but will also spread to your colleague judges. I may also once again emphasize that the beauty, grandeur, and the dignity of the Supreme Court of Pakistan rest in its institutional unity and graceful traditions. As your lordships are aware that even my tenure is about to end. Hence, as a humble officer of the court, I beg all the lordships and the leadership present to please sit down together and work harmoniously in the larger interests of this country and the nation. The Supreme Court Bar assures you that it will always be standing right next to you, and thus we will always be standing on the right side of the history. I thank you all, sir, and I am grateful to Justice Qazi Faez Isa for the wonderful time that I spent with him, and I am really saddened by his lordship's departure, and I wish you all the best in life, sir. Grateful.
Thank you, Mr. Shehzad Shaukat. I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Yahya Afridi, Chief Justice Designate, for his speech.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Honorable Chief Justice and my brother judges, Attorney General of Pakistan, Vice Chairman Pakistan Bar Council, President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, I have very mixed feelings to formally bid farewell to you as the Chief Justice of Pakistan. On the one hand, I am sad for you to leave, as we will surely miss your pleasant sense of humor and abruptness with which you always kept us on our toes. And at the same time, happy that you are leaving in good health and knowing that you'll be able to enjoy your lovely family. On a personal note, I have found you to be a good, caring human being. To some, this might sound strange, but let me share with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you meet, greet, and treat Justice Qazi Faez Isa with a smile and humility, he will reciprocate with such gentle softness, politeness, and care that it will leave you astonished, if not shocked. But mind you, if you in any way provoke him, or if I may say so, poke the bear, then even hell hath no fury to match his scorn, and only God may help and save you. Let me share a secret with you all today, that I have faced such wrath of this bear many times. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, the experience was not pleasant. As a judge sharing the bench with Justice Qazi Faez Isa, I have learnt a lot. Where many like me would keep quiet and feel shy to openly admit that they are not clear about legal proposition, Justice Qazi Faez Isa openly admitted that he would require the assistance of the worthy counsel. But when it came to the rights of women, and more particularly cases relating to their inheritance, Justice Qazi Faez Isa would leave no bounds to ensure the preservation of their rights, and that too with the full might of the court. On a lighter note, while sharing the bench with Justice Qazi Faez Isa during the first half of the court proceedings, I often felt sorry for those across the roster, and at times had to salvage them from total devastation. But as the clock ticked past the half hour, the mood would change and we would have a compassionate listening judge who sat through the day till the last case on the cause list was heard and decided. But I must acknowledge that while sharing the bench with Justice Qazi Faez Isa on many occasions, we had differences. But let me tell you, he was always ready to hear my point of view and was open to persuasion, a characteristic which very few possess, and one must strive to inculcate in ourselves. Now to my commitment, sir. This is a formal announcement that the farewell lunch today hosted by us in honor of Justice Qazi Faez Isa is not on government expense. He's been cruel. He has imposed the entire expenses on me. However, I have requested my brother judges to share the brunt. So we are going to share the brunt, but we wanted to host a lunch for Qazi Saab, and he was adamantly, stubbornly, he was in no mood to accept it. Finally, when we said we're going to commit ourselves, he has agreed. Now, as for what lies ahead, let me assure all that with the blessings of Allah Almighty, for the citizens of Pakistan, rule of law shall rule. Principles of trichotomy of power shall prevail. Dignity of a judge and majesty of the court shall be strictly ensured, be it a civil judge sitting in Boni Chitral or my brother judge sitting next to me today. The grievances of the bars shall be immediately attended to. Now I come to your request. It will be transgression on my part to commit any suggestions that you've made. But I promise you, 11:30 Monday, if you come to my chamber, we will discuss it and hopefully we will pass appropriate orders. Okay. Now, immediate focus would have to be extended to the furthest districts. Jiwani in Balochistan, Tank in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gotki in Sindh, and Sadiqabad in Punjab. I will pause here. You see, Peshawar, Lahore, Karachi, Quetta, they have the immediate attention of the high courts, the government. It is these furthest districts which deserve our attention, and the best of the best judges should go because they deserve them more than anyone else. So the first priority would be, and I apologize, I had certain invitations extended to me last night, and I told them, I promise you, let me first handle these furthest districts, and then inshallah I'll come. We move on. Immediate attention would have to be rendered on facilitating attendances and cases of women, children, and disabled. Finally, improving the justice delivery process, be it automation, alternative dispute resolution, better case management, or human resource development. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Herculean task. Let me tell you, I had the taste of it for a short while. And I tell you, this requires planning and patience from everyone. Planning from our side and patience from your side. with the complete support of not only my brothers at the Supreme Court, the keen interest of the Chief Justices and the judges of the High Court and the District Judiciary, but most importantly, the complete confidence of the Bar. May Allah Almighty render us all guidance and success in achieving this noble goal. Ameen. Sir, in the end, with fondest of memories and with every good wish, I, on behalf of my colleagues, bid farewell to our very dear friend, our illustrious colleague, and our distinguished Chief Justice, Qazi Faez Isa. It will be cruel on my part not to mention Sarina Isa, wife of Justice Qazi Faez Isa, Seher Isa, the daughter, and his 3 loving grandchildren, Hana Lada, Sikandar Lada, Safia Lada, and I'm not going to forget Puddles, the poodle who kept us up during the summer afternoons. May Allah Almighty bless you and your family. Ameen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I now request the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan for his address.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. We've heard 4 speeches in English, so with your permission, I will switch to Urdu, because yesterday too I addressed the Bar, the Pakistan Bar Council and the Supreme Court Bar Association had a dinner, and the speeches were in, I spoke in English, so I'll just change and speak in Urdu, our national language. सबसे पहले मैं आप सबका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ कि आप आए इस तकरीब में. फिर मैं बिलखसूस चीफ जस्टिस डेजिग्नेट जस्टिस याया अफरीदी साहब का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ, और अपने दीगर साथियों का, जजेस का, सुप्रीम कोर्ट शरीयत अपीलेट बेंच के मुअज़्ज़िज़ जजेस, उनका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ, और अटॉर्नी जनरल साहब का जो उन्होंने मेरे मुतालिक बातें कहीं, फिर फारूक नाइक साहब वाइस चेयरमैन पाकिस्तान बार काउंसिल का, और शहजाद शौकत साहब का सदर सुप्रीम कोर्ट बार एसोसिएशन, आपका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया. और मुझे यकीन नहीं आ रहा है, शुक्र है कि मेरी अहलिया आज मौजूद हैं, क्योंकि उन्होंने ये बातें सुनी, क्योंकि मैं उनको कहता कि मेरी तारीफ ही, तो उनको कोई इस पे एतबार नहीं करती. तो और एक और तो सब आप लोगों का शुक्रिया आने का, और दोस्तों का भी, वकीलों का, सहाफ़ियों का आने का शुक्रिया, और उन लोगों का भी शुक्रिया जो आज हम में मौजूद नहीं हैं. मैं कानून और आइन की आज नहीं बात करूंगा, मैं कुछ वो बातें बताऊंगा आपको जो शायद आपको पता ना हो, मगर ये सबसे पहले शुक्रिया ऊपर वाले का, शुक्रिया अल्लाह ताला का कि उन्होंने मुझे इस काबिल समझा कि मैं ये मनसब संभालूं. शुक्रिया अवाम का, शुक्रिया चौधरी इफ्तिखार साहब का जिन्होंने मेरा इंतखाब किया चीफ जस्टिस बलूचिस्तान हाई कोर्ट. बलूचिस्तान हाई कोर्ट जब मैं गया तो मैं वाहिद जज था. एक आइनी बहरान पाकिस्तान में आ चुका था, कोई जज नहीं था, मैं वाहिद जज था बलूचिस्तान हाई कोर्ट में. तो किसी से मुझे सीखने को नहीं मिला, वकीलों ने मुझे सिखाया, और उनकी मदद से अपने बलूचिस्तान के वकीलों से आगे बढ़े, जजेस अपॉइंट किए, और एक गैर फाल अदालत आलिया बलूचिस्तान फिर का काम शुरू हुआ. बलूचिस्तान में बहुत सारा चीज़ें की, بلوچستان سے ہی میرا تعلق ہے، بلوچستان ہی میں میں نے تعلیم حاصل کی، پہلی سے 10ویں تک۔ سینئر کیمبرج وہاں ہوتا نہیں تھا تو اس لیے کراچی گئے۔ اس کے بعد 10ویں کے بعد میرے والد کی پیدائش 30 میل دور ایک شہر ہے پشین، وہاں ہوئی تھی، اور ان کے والد قندھار سے ہجرت کر کے آئے تھے اور اس دنیا سے چلے گئے جب وہ میرے والد کی عمر صرف 6 سال تھی۔ میرے والد بیچ چلے گئے جب میں صرف 16 سال کا تھا۔ اب میں اپنے خاندان کی خواتین کا ذرا ذکر کرنا چاہتا ہوں۔ میری دادی، جن سے میری کبھی ملاقات نہیں ہوئی، جن کو ہم ادے کہتے تھے، ان کے 3 بیٹے تھے۔ وہ خود پڑھی لکھی نہیں تھیں، مگر انہوں نے اپنے جو ایک بیوہ پشین میں رہ رہی ہیں، اب آپ اس کو سوچئے، اور یہ 100 سال سے پہلے کی بات ہے کہ انہوں نے یہ تعین کیا کہ میں تینوں بچوں کو جو اس وقت کی سب سے بہتر تعلیم ہے وہ دلوانا چاہتی ہوں۔ سب سے بڑے ان کے بیٹے قاضی موسیٰ، وہ ایکسیٹر کالج گئے، اور اس کے بعد میرے والد قاضی محمد عیسیٰ انگلستان مڈل ٹیمپل بار کی ڈگری لینے کے لیے گئے، اور سب سے چھوٹے قاضی اسماعیل وہ پائلٹ بنے۔ دونوں اپنے چچاؤں سے میری ملاقات نہیں ہوئی کہ ان کی وفات میں سے پہلے ہو گئی تھی، میری پیدائش سے پہلے ہو گئی تھی۔ اس وقت انگلستان جانا آسان کام نہیں تھا۔ آپ کو پہلے پشین سے کوئٹہ سے پھر کراچی، 24 گھنٹے کا ریل کا سفر، پھر کئی دنوں کا سمندر کا سفر جو آپ کو لے جاتا انگلستان۔ تو میرے والد بلوچستان میں پہلے بیرسٹر تھے، اور میں بھی اسی جگہ سے میں نے اپنی بار کی جہاں سے انہوں نے جس کا انتخاب کیا تھا۔ 4 انز آف کورٹ ہیں، مڈل ٹیمپل کا نام کم سنا جاتا ہے پاکستان میں، تو میں بھی مڈل ٹیمپل میں گیا۔ میرے والد پہلے بلوچستان کے بیرسٹر تھے، اور میری بیٹی پہلی خاتون تھیں جو مڈل ٹیمپل سے جنہوں نے بار کیا، اور میں نے بھی، ہم 3 جنریشن ایک ہی ان سے ہم نے انہوں نے کیا۔ بلوچستان میں بہت ساری چیزیں کی۔ اس سے پہلے جب میں نے کہا خواتین کا اپنا ذکر کروں، میری والدہ نے مجھے کہا، ایک ہی نصیحت دی، آپ ڈگری کر لو، اس کے بعد جو مرضی کرو۔ تو ڈگری جیسی مجھے ہاتھ میں آئی بار کی، ساتھ ساتھ میری شادی بھی ہو گئی، تو میری وابستگی میری اہلیہ اور اس پروفیشن سے برابر کی ہے، 42 سال کی۔ 42 سال مجھے اس پروفیشن میں ہوئے ہیں، اور 42 سال سے میری شادی کو بھی ہوئے ہیں۔ تو ہر برے اچھے کے ساتھ دیا گیا۔ چیف جسٹس اس وقت افتخار محمد چودھری صاحب نے اپنے رجسٹرار کے ذریعے ڈاکٹر فقیر محمد کے ایک دن فون آیا کہ آپ کو چیف جسٹس صاحب بلا رہے ہیں۔ تو میں نے سمجھا پتہ نہیں خیریت کیا بات ہوئی، کیونکہ میں اس وقت انگریزی کے اخبار میں لکھتا تھا، تو میں نے کہا شاید کچھ ناگزیر لگا ہو، تو شاید مجھے کوئی ڈانٹا پڑھنے کے لیے، تو میں نے ریٹرن ٹکٹ بک کیا اسی دن کا کہ واپس آ جاؤں گا۔ تو وہاں پہ پتہ چلا کہ انہوں نے کہا کہ نہیں، آپ جاؤ بلوچستان سنبھالو، وہاں کوئی جج نہیں رہا۔ میری زندگی میں ویٹو پار میری اہلیہ کو ہے، اور اس وقت میرے پارٹنر، ان سے میں نے کہا جی میں جب تک وہ نہیں ہاں کریں گے تو میں بھی نہیں کر سکتا ہوں۔ تو دونوں نے اگری کیا، اور پھر وہاں سے میں بلوچستان ایک دم زندگی بدل گئی راتوں رات۔ اور بلوچستان، بلکہ چودھری صاحب نے مجھے کہا چلے جاؤ. میں نے ان سے بات کی، میں نے کہا میں تو اپنا ٹوتھ برش بھی نہیں لایا ہوں. تو خیر بلوچستان گئے، اور پھر بلوچستان میں جو کچھ کیا وہ خیر ہمارے بلوچستان کے دوستوں کو پتہ ہے. بہت سارے کام جس کا لوگ مجھے صلاح دیتے تھے کہ میں نے کیا، اس کے پیچھے میری اہلیہ تھی. ان کی بس 2 شرط تھی، ایک کہ ان کا نام نہیں بتایا جائے گا اور کوئی معاوضہ اور کسی قسم کا کچھ نہیں ہوگا. تو بہت ساری چیزیں جو پبلک ایریاز میں پارکس اور ان کے ٹھیک ٹھاک کرنا، یونیفارم بنانا وغیرہ وغیرہ، انہوں نے اسٹیشنری ڈیزائن کرنا، ویب سائٹ ڈیزائن کرنا، بہت سی چیزوں میں انہوں نے ہاتھ بٹایا. اور بلوچستان کے ہر ڈسٹرکٹ میں ہم ساتھ گئے، وہ والے ڈسٹرکٹ بھی جو اس وقت کافی مسئلے ہو رہے تھے ادھر، اور مجھے کہا گیا تھا کہ یہ مناسب نہیں آپ کا جانا. تو مگر وہ انہوں نے میری اہلیہ نے انسسٹ کیا، سرینا نے، اور وہ بھی میرے ساتھ آئیں. ہمارے ڈرائیور ہوتے تھے شعبان، بیچارے کا انتقال ہو گیا، ہر جگہ انہوں نے کیا، اور وہ پتہ نہیں کتنے چیف جسٹسز کے ساتھ رہ چکے تھے. ایک دن وہ کہتے ہیں یہاں تو میں بھی نہیں آیا ہوں بلوچستان میں. تو مجھے بڑی خوشی ہوئی، میں ہنسا، میں نے کہا جی چلیں کوئی ایسی جگہ تو ہے کہ جو میں نے آپ کو دکھائی اور آپ نے مجھے نہیں دکھائی. چھٹیاں میں کرتا تھا ہمیشہ، جب سے یہاں آیا ہوں کچھ چھٹیاں کم کی، مگر چھٹیاں جانے کی ضرورت نہیں ہوئی، کیونکہ ساتھ میں یہاں سحر اور ان کے شوہر اسد اور ان کی بیٹی صفیہ، بیٹا سکندر اور حنا تھے. اب میرے خیال میں ہم خوش قسمت ہیں کہ ہمارے بچے ہیں اور بچے ہمیں سکھاتے ہیں. ایک دن مجھے صفیہ نے کہا کہ میرے دوست بہت ناراض ہیں مجھ سے کہ آپ نے مرغلہ ہل کی پہاڑی پہ جو ریسٹورنٹ ہیں آپ نے ان کو مسمار کرنے کا حکم دیا. تو میں اب کچھ کہنے والا تھا، اس سے پہلے انہوں نے، صفیہ نے مجھے کہا، مگر میں نے ان کو کہا اللہ تعالیٰ نے جانور بھی بنائے ہیں، ان کا بھی تو ہمیں خیال رکھنا ہے، پرندے بھی بنائے ہیں، ان کا بھی تو ہمیں خیال رکھنا ہے، یہ تو ان کا گھر ہے، ہم نے ان کے گھر میں داخل ہو گئے. تو یہ ماحولیات ایک بہت اہم موضوع ہے، اور اس پہ ہم سب کو توجہ دینا چاہیے اور اپنے بچوں سے سیکھنا چاہیے، کیونکہ ہماری زندگیاں تو گزر چکی ہیں، ان کی زندگیاں سامنے ہیں. اور اگر ماحول ایسا نہ رہا رہنے کے قابل، تو نہ صرف جانور پرندے بلکہ انسان خود، ان کا رہنا بھی اس کائنات میں مشکل ہو جائے گا. میرے ایک صاحبزادے بھی ہیں ارسلان، وہ آئے پاکستان واپس، انہوں نے، میں نے کہا مجھ سے کچھ نہ کرنا، انہوں نے خود ملازمت رکھی، پکڑی. لاہور میں انہوں نے کچھ عرصہ پڑھایا، 75,000 ان کو تنخواہ ملتی تھی. کہ بابا میرا اس میں گزارا نہیں ہوتا. میں نے کہا گزارا کرو. پھر وہ میرے خیال میں شاید پھر انہوں نے واپس انگلستان چلے گئے. ان سے بھی میں نے کافی مدد لی. ایک دفعہ بلوچستان میں مجھے یاد ہے ہمارے رجسٹرار کوئی پوسٹ تھی 9 گریڈ یا 11 گریڈ کی، تو میں نے کہا کہ جی جب سے جو سب سے 2 ٹاپ کینڈیڈیٹس ہیں پھر مجھے ملائیے گا ان سے. تو ایک آئے، انہوں نے فرمایا کہ میں نے کیا ہے، مجھے پہلے معلوم ہوا، میں نے سی وی دیکھا تو اس میں لکھا تھا ماسٹر ان فلاسفی. میرے بیٹے نے بھی ماسٹر ان فلاسفی کیا تھا، مجھے فلاسفی کے بارے میں کچھ پتہ نہیں تھا. تو کیونکہ آپ کو پتہ ہے ڈگریاں کبھی کبھی کیسے لے لی جاتی ہیں، تو میں نے اپنے بیٹے کو فون کیا اور پوچھا کہ مجھے آپ 2-3 سوال بتاؤ فلاسفی کے جو میں ان سے پوچھ سکوں، اور ان کے جواب بھی ساتھ ساتھ بتاؤ. تو اس نے مجھے 2-3 سوال بتائے، کیا فرق ہے، ماڈرنزم کیا ہوتا ہے، پوسٹ ماڈرنزم کیا ہوتا ہے، دونوں میں فرق کیا ہے، 1-2 اور باتیں. تو خیر وہ سوال پوچھے گئے اور وہ صحیح جواب ملے ان سے. تو صرف یہ آپ کو بتانا چاہتا ہوں کہ آپ کے ساتھ جو آپ کی مدد کرنے کو ہیں بہت سارے لوگ ہوتے ہیں. میرے ساتھ کن کن نے میری مدد کی، اور جیسے میرے دوست یا افریدی نے صاحب نے کہا کہ بھالو کہیں گے یا ریچھ کہیں گے یا سب بیر کہتے ہیں خطرناک ریچھ ہے، ریچھ کے ساتھ گزارا کیا اس میں فاروق صاحب ہیں، توصیف صاحب ہیں، ساجد صاحب ہیں، سردار صاحب ہیں، اور دو لوگ جو میرے ساتھ میں نے جن کا انتخاب کیا کہ وہ میرے ساتھ آئیں اور وہ صرف اس شرط پہ آنے کے لیے تیار ہوئے کہ جس دن آپ جائیں گے اس دن ہم بھی جائیں گے. تو ان کا بھی آج ایک طرح سے آپ ریفرنس ہی سمجھیے. پروفیسر ڈاکٹر مشتاق، ان کا میں نے انتخاب کیا جو میرے سامنے بیٹھے ہیں کہ وہ میرے پرائیویٹ سیکرٹری کا انتخاب کیا، جو انہوں نے ایکسیپٹ کیا. یہ ان کا بڑا پن ہے کیونکہ ان کا گریڈ کہیں زیادہ تھا بلکہ پرائیویٹ سیکرٹری ٹو دی چیف جسٹس سے. اور دوسرے بلوچستان سے میرے ساتھ رہے ہمیشہ صادق صاحب، محمد صادق صاحب، وہ میرے خیال میں شاید وہاں بیٹھے ہیں. انہوں نے بھی اسی شرط پہ کہا کہ جس دن آپ کا ریفرنس ہوگا اس دن ہمارا بھی آخری دن ہوگا. تو یہ ان کی میں نے شرط، دونوں کی شرط قبول کی اور میرے ساتھ آئے. میرے پہلا کام جو میں نے یہاں کیا تھا وہ میری جو صحیح ثابت ہوا وہ انتخاب کرنا تھا رجسٹرار کا، جزیلہ اسلم صاحبہ، اور انہوں نے میرا شاید پیار کا پہلو بھی اور ریچ والا پہلو بھی دونوں دیکھے ہیں، مگر شاید وہ اس بات کی گواہی دے کہ کبھی کوئی ذاتیات پہ نہیں بات ہوتی تھی، انسٹیٹیوشن کی بہتری کی بات ہوتی تھی. ہم چہرہ سامنے جو کام جو یہ پیش کر رہی ہیں اور ان سے پوچھیے کہ میں نے ان کے کاموں میں کوئی دخل نہیں کیا، ان کی کاز لسٹ بنانے میں کوئی دخل نہیں کیا. کاز کیس لگنا ہے، کون سا لگنا ہے، میں نے کہا ان کا کام میرا کام نہیں ہے. یہ سب انہوں نے کام کیا. پھر میں ایک اور خاتون کا بھی ذکر کروں، ہنا صاحبہ کہاں ہیں؟ جی ہنا صاحبہ یہاں ہیں، جو ان سے میرا اتفاق ایسے ہی ہوا کیونکہ ایک دن جو میرے پہلے ریڈر ہوتے تھے وہ آئے نہیں، تو ان کو کسی نے بھیجا میرے سامنے اور یہ بڑی ایفیشینٹ ثابت ہوئیں. تو پھر میں نے ان کو اپنے ساتھ ایز مائی ریڈر رکھا. اب مردوں کو ذرا خطرہ ہونا چاہیے کہ یہ کچھ خواتین آگے نکل رہی ہیں، تو میں آپ کو صرف ذرا آپ لوگ اپنی کارکردگی بہتر کر لیں، نہیں تو یہ نہ ہو کہ ساری خواتین ہی آپ کی پوزیشنز پہ آ جائیں. تو ہنا صاحب کے میرے ریسرچ آفیسر جو یہاں بیٹھے ہیں ماشاءاللہ بہت ہی قابل ہیں، اور اس سے پہلے کہ میں ان کو بتاؤں کسی موضوع پہ اور میں بات کر رہا ہوتا تھا تو ان کو پتہ تھا میں کس طرف جا رہا ہوں، کتاب میرے سامنے آ جاتی تھی. میرے گارڈ فیاض جو میرے ہمیشہ ساتھ رہے ہیں، طارق وسیم صاحب ریسرچ آفیسر، میرے کورٹ کلرکس جن میں کبیر تھے جو اب امریکہ میں ہیں، حسن وہ بھی پڑھنے گئے امریکہ، علی، زینب، نیہا اور مریم کچھ عرصے کے لیے میرے ساتھ آئیں. ان سب کا میں بھی شکریہ ادا کرنا چاہتا ہوں. اور آخر میں صرف بتانا چاہتا ہوں جج کی، وکیل اور جج کی اہمیت. ہم کیس سنتے ہیں، کاغذ پہ کچھ فکرے لکھے ہوتے ہیں، اندازہ لگانا ہوتا ہے کہاں سچ ہے کہاں جھوٹ ہے. ہو سکتا ہے بے پناہ ہم نے فیصلے غلط کیے ہوں کیونکہ کاغذ کے ٹکڑوں پہ جو لکھا گیا ہے وہ ایک پارٹی کو فائدہ دیتا ہے اور دوسرے کو نہیں. سچ کیا ہے وہ تو اوپر والا جانتا ہے، مگر ہم تو کاغذوں پہ چلتے ہیں، قانون پہ چلتے ہیں کہ جو ثابت کر سکے کیس کاغذ کے بیسس پہ اس سے معلوم ہوتا ہے. یہ مجھے ایک خط ملا، میں باہر کا خط ہے، رجسٹرڈ پوسٹ کے ذریعے آیا اور 8 پاؤنڈ سے زیادہ انگلستان سے خط آیا. تو میں یہ صرف اس لیے پڑھنا چاہتا ہوں، یہ نہیں کہ میری تعریف ہے، مگر اس میں صرف یہ ظاہر کرنا چاہتا ہوں کہ جج کی کرسی کتنی اہم ہے اور وکیلوں کا کردار کتنا اس میں اہم بھی ہے. یہ میں کچھ، یہ آپ کو ان کا نام نہیں بتاؤں گا، میں یہ پڑھتا ہوں اس سے آپ کو شاید یاد نہ ہو 2007 کی بات ہے جب میں اچھا پھر یہ کچھ ذاتیات اور کیس کا نمبر بتاتی ہیں مجھے کچھ یاد نہیں ہے کون خاتون ہے اور یہ کیس کیا ہے. ہم ابھی میں پڑھتا ہوں دوبارہ. میں بس اور میرے 2 بچے کیمبرج میں مقیم ہیں انگلستان میں جہاں میں فل اسکالرشپ پر پی ایچ ڈی کر رہی تھی. مجھے آج بھی وہ خوف و ہراس کی زندگی یاد ہے. ہر وقت یہ دھڑکا لگا رہتا تھا کہ آج یا کل بچے چھن جائیں گے. عدالت میں ہمارا کیس لگا. سپریم کورٹ کا وکیل نہیں تھا تو میں خود سامنے آئی اور سادہ الفاظ میں مدعا بیان کیا. آپ نے تسلی سے میری بات سنی. ایک خوف سا تھا کہ آج کیا فیصلہ ہوگا. میری گھبراہٹ دیکھتے ہوئے آپ نے کہا آپ اطمینان رکھیے. آپ نے فیصلہ لکھا. یہ وہ فیصلہ ہے جو آج تک میرے اور میرے بچوں کے سروں پر ڈھال بن کر کھڑا رہا. میں نے نہ صرف کیمبرج یونیورسٹی سے ایجوکیشن میں پی ایچ ڈی حاصل کی بلکہ 2 سال وہاں پڑھانے کے بعد 2021 سے آکسفورڈ یونیورسٹی میں بطور سینئر لیکچرر فائز ہوں. میری بیٹی نام نہیں بتاؤں گا اس سال یونیورسٹی سٹی شروع کرے گی. وہ وکیل بننا چاہتی ہے. میرا بیٹا اگلے سال اے لیولز کرے گا. وہ سافٹ ویئر انجینئرنگ کرنا چاہتا ہے. ہم اکثر مل کر آپ کی عدالت کے بارے میں باتیں کرتے ہیں اور میں بچوں کو کہتی ہوں کہ قابل ایماندار اور خدا ترس انسان نہ صرف اپنے لیے بلکہ ہر اس زندگی کے لیے کامیابی کا باعث بنتے ہیں جن کا گزر ان کے راستوں سے ہو. پشاور کی گلیوں بریکٹ میں لکھا ہے میرا آبائی شہر سے نکل کر آکسفورڈ تک کا سفر مشکل تو تھا. ہر آپ جیسے ایماندار منصفین کی مرہون منت بخوبی طے ہوا. تو یہ میرے خیال میں میں نے کوئی خاص بات نہیں کی. یہ ہمارا فرض ہے اسی لیے ہمیں انتخاب کیا جاتا ہے. اور میں جو اس خطوط میں یہ آپ کے لیے نہیں ہے یہ اگر میرے ڈسٹنگوش کلیگز کے لیے ہے اور یہ گزارانہ بات ہے کوئی ریچ یہ بات نہیں کر رہا ہے یا افریدی صاحب تو تھوڑا خیال رکھیے گا. اور آخر میں بہت بہت آپ کا شکریہ. اور آزادی میں کچھ گھنٹے رہ گئے. شکریہ بہت بہت.
Thank you, sir. Bahut shukriya, sir. Now I seek permission of the Honorable Chief Justice to conclude the proceedings and also request all the participants to witness the inaugural ceremony of the newly constructed Fundamental Rights Monument. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Proceedings stand concluded. Thank you.
एरियल की कड़क धुलाई पूरे 50 रुपए की बचत के साथ. अब महंगाई और दागों दोनों की होगी सफाई.
अब दर्द से निजात और रात को पुरसुकून नींद के लिए पैनाडोल नाइट पर मेरा भरोसा.
Hey everyone, welcome to this interesting video in JavaScript. The best way to master a language is by programming in it. If you enjoy watching such tech videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. So what's in store for you? We'll first create some simple beginner level projects like how to build a calculator app. Then we'll move on to more advanced apps like the weather app, the tic-tac-toe game, and finally we'll conclude the session by creating a snake game application. Now I'm sure you're excited to dive deep into it. So let's begin.
So we have decided to basically develop a very interesting project in JavaScript that is known as called calculator application. Like you have seen earlier some projects like in tic-tac-toe, you talk about snake game, you talk about quiz application. This time we're going to introduce you another very interesting project using this JavaScript, HTML and CSS, so-called calculator application. So let's get started. Let me try to delete first those files which we really do not need it now. We delete those all. Yeah. Now I'll be creating a new folder now and give the name called calculator app. And in this calculator app, once again we need some new files which is called index.html, and we also need one more that is called app.css, and another one that is called app.js. So these three files required. Now first of all, I would start with index.html file where we'll be creating a template of my code. Now let me go and create this template, and here I have got body with me. Let's start with the